to show or build trust between Joel and Tommy and this group to show that without their help, they might have died, meaning Tommy and Joel would have died without this group. Another one where I think I'm like screaming out to all like the actors, okay, now they're burning, now like there's a lot of fire. And you gotta speak up over the storm. Again, none of those elements are there.
Let's get inside!
And right now, only Abby knows what's about to go down. Everybody else thinks like, oh, we just found friendly people that helped us along. We captured this all as one go, from here all the way to the golf club hit. And initially we had versions of it where it was edited to be multiple cuts. And then it felt like it could just be way more tense if the whole thing was one shot. Required a lot of stitching of different performances and different elements, and some tweaking of stuff in animation, but
You have no idea.
yeah, I find that this scene has so much tension, the way it now moves.
We rehearsed it so many times before we shot it to make all the moving parts work.
From a directing side, that this can be hard as well because you're trying to pay attention to so many actors and making sure it's all feeling honest and authentic.
Y'all should come back with us, restock before you head out.
Appreciate it.
Again, there's no ambush here. They're all being authentic
This is my brother.
until this moment. And now everything has changed.
We knew this was going to be the most controversial scene in the whole game, and the intention is that it is brutal and it is hard to watch, which obviously as a player is really difficult to go through, but it puts you in alignment with Ellie. You're watching this devastation to this man that you've come to love as a character, and now you're watching him be brutally murdered. And it should be upsetting, it should hurt. A lot of people are still really upset about it, but what a faster way, I can't think of a faster way to help you understand why Ellie is gonna go as far as she's gonna go, because we're there seeing how this thing was stolen from her.
Yeah, this interplay of like, you want him to suffer, and he's not giving you the satisfaction of like, I don't care who you are, do your worst.
Mm-hmm.
And you try.
Yeah.
You try to do your worst.
Joel's not a man who begs.
That is a conversation I had with Troy about how prepared he was. He's lived for 20 years, 25 years at this point of like, just always accepting that this day might come. Something like this will happen because it always happens in this world.
Yeah, it's irrelevant to him who they are or why they're doing this, because there are so many people who could want to do this to him, given the life he's led.
I just remember shooting it and being like, this moment you've worked towards for so long and wanting it to feel right and wanting it to feel good. And it happens and you just feel fucking empty.
Mm.
I think we've talked about it, Neil. Like, you had talked to me about this role and you told me about this character, Abby, and you told me what you were planning for her. And she had like a different story, I think, at the time, how they met and everything. But I was excited and terrified because, like, as a player, that's traumatizing. And I didn't know how people were going to react to it.
You don't get to rush this.
Yeah, we had versions of this sequence where Ellie came in after the fact, and it just felt we needed her to see it to really set up this journey.
Yeah, this was rough. This was a rough day on set because I knew we were losing a character that we all love very deeply. You know, even the imaginary circumstances of that are just hard. It's also our, you know, all of our friendship, my friendship with Troy. So just seeing that and
What I remember more than anything is, we're going through the mechanics of it, and we're stupid suits on a soundstage. And there's all of these machinations and things that are keeping it goofy. But the one thing that cuts through the din of all that is when I look over at Ashley. Because being the great actor that you are, all of those things go away, and all you see is the moment that we're trying to create and the reality of what this scene is for you personally. And everything that I'm feeling, everything that I'm thinking is gone because I'm just watching. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to watch that scene without it bringing me to that place, ever. But the thing that has been proven to me is because of the way that I feel, because it's so hard, it is absolutely the most honest, perfect version of this story. There's no other version of this story. There just isn't.
And for this version of the scene, it was important that we were in Ellie's head, that you don't get to hear this conversation that's happening around her. But this was just about the ringing of the ears of pure hatred and anger that she's experiencing right now.
Oh my God. Ellie?
And just this final look right here where she sees him and I can't fix this. Well, she's gonna try to find a way to fix it.
yeah, she's gonna try to find a way to fix it in the best way she knows how.
I love this scene with you and Jeffrey. Brings you Tupperware with food.
Oh yes, this was one of my favorite scenes to shoot. I love working with Jeffrey.
You're so brilliant how it goes from this really sad, mournful place to just slowly rage over time as you're not getting what you want.
Also, this emptiness you have just from that look out the window there to like this, that like bereft, it's just really right on point. It's just so good.
Hey.
Hey.
Jeffrey here is quite brilliant. Is like
Yeah.
he wants to go after the people that hurt Joel. So there's like the emotional part of his mind and the rational part, and they're kind of in conflict here. And like he's trying to do what's best for Ellie, which is to say it's not worth it.
I also really love how the blocking of this scene worked out, because I love that neither of them can look at each other. They're not facing each other.
Maria wants to make sure you're eating.
Oh, and Jeffrey's voice. It's so
She can't stop us.
scrumptious.
To have the guys that we would need to do this smart, we'd be leaving Jackson vulnerable.
I love it. It's like the one time you look at him is to make him feel shame. Like, are you really saying this to me?
Nobody wants
The only time that there's confidence there with her is when there's anger present.
What if we get hit by hunters again?
Is this you talking or is this her?
It's a valid point.
If it were you or me, Joel would be halfway to Seattle already.
Which is true.
Well, we had actually lines here where he counters that, and he says Joel never went after the people that killed his daughter. Like, because we really wanted to flesh out the point that like Joel is more pragmatic with his violence, where Ellie comes from a much more emotional place with it.
Why didn't you guys keep that in?
It just felt like we're just
It's too on the nose?
too much exposition about the previous game, and we wanted more to stay in this moment. Like, there's other ways to talk about what Joel did in other spots, and really wanted to focus about
And if you want to come with me, great.
the logistics of going after the people. going after Abby.
You have no idea what you're walking into. You don't know how large that group
I don't care.
Armed.
I don't care. You can't talk me out of this.
Again, this moment of decision where he's like, in order to protect her, I'm gonna have to go by myself. And he's like, now he's lying again. Not dissimilar to Joel lying to Ellie to protect her.
Give me a day,
Right? That give me a day's bullshit.
okay? There's got to be some folks you can spare.
Why the
Yeah, she
choice
won't
of the
budge.
hairpiece coming down? The little hair string for Tommy.
There's a little bit of design, like Abby has something similar as well. So it's like there's what animators call secondary movement. So as when he's moving around, there's physics on the hair. And just one more way to bring the CG character to life.
Yeah.
It's also such a flex because it really
So
doesn't
hard.
look good in other games. Like it's
Yeah.
just like it looks amazing, and it's like it feels it's just like such a subtle flex. Like look what we can do.
Yeah.
I love this hug that then it's just too painful for the two of them. They can't stay in that moment.
That's too uncomfortable to be vulnerable. Got too much shit to do.
There's something about, when it doesn't feel real until you're at his grave. Like there's a part of you, maybe because you play you play video games, you watch a lot of popular movies, you keep thinking he's going to come back somehow. And then it's like, no, there's his name on that gravestone. And then the famous Gustavo All Gone, another version of that theme.
It was hard. It was hard. Joel is a character that I love. And I wasn't ready to let him go. So seeing that, even experiencing that of seeing, oh, we're doing a scene where we're at the gravestone is very final. I love it. I love that Dina was there the whole time and we didn't know that yet. Not looking on, just sort of giving Ellie her moment.
I remember when we were doing that, I really did feel like I was like really trying not to listen to you.
I felt that too.
You did?
Yeah. It's like I'm right here if you need me, but
It's
I'm
like,
not
but
listening.
I'm not listening. You have your privacy, but if you need me, I'm here.